Booze rung out around Celtic Park. Chris Sutton's getting stuck in. He's saying it's unacceptable about what's going on. The transfer business in this window is completely unacceptable. And he says, and I quote, "I can fully understand the frustration of the Celtic fans." And he's responded with a tweet. We'll get into that after a wee few minutes here. But what do you think of Chris Sutton's comments of the transfer window at Celtic Park?
Sounds like he fears that the Rangers are coming.
Yep, I think he does fear that the Rangers are coming. I'm not going to pretend that Rangers had a great window, but at least it looks like stuff's happening, finally. Celtic have signed Nicholas Kuhn. Alright, Van Dooijeboy, whatever he's called, not the dart player. He seems like he's coming to Celtic, but I believe he's got 1 goal this season in the Serie A. That's like Sam Lammers levels. Is he really going to take Celtic to the next level? I mean, Brendan Rodgers is the guy that's completely cut the balls off Kyogo this season.
I don't think it's more so the fact Rangers have done well, because they haven't, and once again you have to make everything about Rangers, which is kind of annoying, but you know what, I can accept that. I think it's more the fact that Celtic have just been shite. They are not a good side, and if Rangers were good, which they're not, I know you think they are, but they're not.
When did I say that, fuckface? No, actually, I didn't know. Hold on. When did I say that? Explain. When have I ever said Rangers are a good side? They're shite.
No, you're making it as Rangers have done stuff, and Chris Sutton's panicking.
No.
I just think
the old form always gets compared, right? Aye, Celtic fans will be angry about the fact that Rangers are actually signing players and they're not.
Yes, they've signed 2 loan players and they've let go of Sam Lammers, so therefore it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but Mohamed Diamonde's signing officially in the summer.
Aye, but the guy could be shite, because all you guys turned around and said, "Oh, Cervantes is world class, so he's going to be brilliant." Yes.
I never said that.
He kicked 2 balls and he's been pissed.
I'm not certain people on this app, right, that fucking claim to have watched the MLS.
Right, CJ Nova, you fucking stupid dick. I watch Italian football, La Liga. He's probably never watched a game of European football in his bloody life.
I wasn't even talking about him.
Well, I was.
I was as well. I'm only joking. Play the game, son.
No, but I mean, I don't look at what Rangers have done this window, and I don't see a lot of I mean, Fabio Silva, right? He's a guy that, yes, supposed to be a big wonder kid, but he came to Wolves and he failed. He's done absolutely nothing. Now, I mean, £40 million player, aye, it sounds good, but until we actually see him performing, then for me, he isn't that big a deal. I mean, the guy can't even get starting over Dessers, so why is he going to somehow all of a sudden magically change the direction of the title?
I'll disagree with that. I think he is the starting striker. Clement changed his team about the day. Scott Wright was starting. Does that mean he's the number 1 going?
Has Fabio Silva impressed you?
No. He's been alright. He's got technical ability, but he's not a goal scorer.
And then this Diomande guy, again, don't know who he is. Could be good, but he might not be. So I'm going to hold
He's highly rated, though, him.
I'm going to hold out judgment until I actually see him play. And the guy that Celtic signed again, I mean, he played for Ajax and Bayern Munich. He never made one competitive appearance for the senior sides. He played some games for the Beasts. It doesn't count. Imagine trying to claim that he's a Bayern Munich player and he's never...
No, he said that himself. He said he's trained with Lewandowski and he's played against him and all. And he was in the B team.
I played alongside Lewandowski in Ultimate Team, so what? do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean shit.
You know what I mean?
I think both old firm sides have done poor in the window. I expect it more.
I think it's more what you thought was going to happen. You hear war chests, you hear strikers need signed at a certain club and they don't bring them in, and the war chest has collapsed. There must be no funds.
The only reason I thought Celtic would have spent a bit more and been a bit more active is because all of a sudden the title race looks like it's not all over. It does look like it could go either way. Therefore, I did expect Celtic to be a bit more adventurous in the window, whereas had Michael Beale still been there, had the 8-point, 10-point, whatever point gap still existed, Celtic are out of Europe. It looks like the league's already wrapped up. You could argue, well, there's no much point in spending a lot of money this window. We'll just wait till the summer. But now you're looking at it, it's like, if they don't, they could get left behind. But I don't think they have been left behind, right? Maybe things can change within the next week or next, 4 days. Like, see if Rangers go out and they sign Shankland, then I would start to worry if I was a Celtic fan. But right now, I don't... Fabio Silva and this loan signing, Diomande, alright, loan to buy, who cares?
I think Shankland's the key. I think Shankland coming to Rangers triumphs whatever Celtic can do in the last couple of days for me. Because I don't see who they're bringing in that's going to make me go, fuck.
If I was a Celtic fan, I wouldn't be panicking right now, but what would make me panic would be if Rangers get Shankland and Celtic lost O'Reilly and he wasn't replaced, then all of a sudden I'd be like, right, hold on. Rangers have fixed probably the area of the pitch where they need it to fix the most, and we've lost our best player. But right now, I still think it's pretty even. I know it's 2-1 in signings for Rangers, but for me, all three signings are unproven. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Rangers have got the upper hand so far.
Okay, well, let's see what Chris Sutton said.
Sutton said, a strange position Celtic find themselves in. Top of the league, but there is a sense that things are simmering with a section of the fan base. We know why. Celtic seem to have a plan with recruitment under Ange. Now it seems really complicated, and it shouldn't be. I mean, can we really blame it all on just Ange not being there? Can we blame it on the Celtic recruitment? Like you mentioned earlier, Kyogo looks like a shadow of his former self, and I know he's still got a decent goal tally this season, but he doesn't look like a player that would be earning a big move to the Premier League right now. He doesn't look like a Premier League player.
No, he doesn't.
It'd be hard to make a case for him getting in a relegation side at the moment in the Premier League.
No, Brendan Rodgers.
Under Ange, though, I thought Kyogo last season and the season before could have went to Spurs, could have been a starting player for them. I think he could have made a really big impact to like a top side in the Premier League or got a big move away.
I think Cyril Dessers has got more league goals than Kyogo. Or he's at least level, I know that.
But I mean, you're looking at Kyogo now, and I just don't see a Premier League player. I don't see someone that's going to earn a move to a big European club. I just don't see it right now. And that's not Kyogo's fault. I think it has to be Brendan Rodgers' fault.
Well, Ryan 118 said today in his wee match reaction that it's Kyogo's fault as well now. What do you think?
How? I don't see it. How is it Kyogo's fault?
I know, but even as much as like Rodgers has changed the format and the formation and the style of play, does that really excuse Kyogo being pretty shite? Because he has been shite. He's had his moments, yes. He's sunk Rangers twice.
Well, he's a little Brendan Rodgers fanboy, so he's going to try and take the heat off Rodgers and pin it on Kyogo. Why is Alistair Johnson? Last season, people were saying, I know he only had 6 months under Ange, but people were saying, this guy looks even better than Juranovic, and pretty much everyone outside of Rangers fans were saying that Johnston was the best right back in the league. Hell, even some Rangers fans were admitting that he was better than Tav.
He was last season, second half, absolutely.
This season, he looks shit.
No, he does. He looks as bad as Ralston, as you put it earlier.
So, he's another player Greg Taylor was someone that, under Ange, I'm not saying he looked world class, but he looked like someone that was good enough to be Celtic's starting left back. He looked like someone that he didn't want to replace. And in my opinion, he was playing good enough that I want him in the Scotland team.
The squad.
Maybe not necessarily starting, but I thought, right, no, we need him. He's a good option to have in case like Robertson goes off or you want to play Tierney as a left centre-back or whatnot. Greg Taylor's a good option to have. But now you're looking at it and you're thinking, fuck that, no.
I would say Rodgers has improved the midfielders. I think Turnbull's been better. He's given more chances. And O'Reilly's obviously improved. But every other area of the pitch for me, he's got weaker.
Well, Hatate's been injured, so I can't really comment too much on
And Callum McGregor's the GOAT, no matter what manager's in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could put us in charge of Celtic and Callum McGregor would still single-handedly win every game, just not in Europe, because he's pish. But, Chris Sutton panicking. I don't think there's any need to panic right now. And that's not me saying that Celtic will win the league, because I still think it's like 50-50. But I just don't think Rangers have done enough.
What area, though, does Celtic need to strengthen in? Left back? Because Greg Taylor's out, Bernabei's starting.
Definitely need a goalkeeper.
Definitely
need a goalkeeper.
They need a striker.
I'd say need a striker.
They need a winger that's good, as in get rid of your dead weight. Mikey Johnston, James Forrest.
Yeah, Celtic can brag about having 8 wingers, but I mean, who cares about the quantity of wingers? It's about the quality of wingers, and Celtic just don't have it. Even Maida, I don't think Maida looks good under Rodgers.
No, he needs a pressing game.
I know Abada's been injured, but hasn't really impressed me that much.
No.
I don't know, this Celtic team doesn't look that good to me.
Both very average Old Firm teams, and it just begs the question, what are the chances anyone else winning the league? If you can't get close to these two teams at the minute.
I said at the start of the season it was going to be closer and both Old Firm sides would lose more games than they have done in recent years, and that neither side would break the 90-point barrier, and I stand by that.
No, but if you look at the math, if you look at Hearts and Aberdeen, they've got solid squads, right? And they've got goal scorers. What's the excuse for them not being closer? Especially Aberdeen. But how's Barry Robson in a job? I need to know.
I think Hearts are doing alright.
They can talk about how the SFA favour the old firm and yada yada yada, right? And Hearts are doing good, right? I'm not going to bash Hearts too much, but I think they should be closer. See at the start of this season, Hearts were pish. They've turned it around recently in the second half of games.
Yeah, no, they have, and if they go off to a better...
Look at the start Rangers had to the season. St Mirren, what are their boots? But, I mean, you look at the gap between Hearts and Rangers. I mean, 10 points by a game extra played. I mean, that's not a disaster, but...
I mean, Hearts have took 13 points at their last 15, so that's... You can't really complain about that.
No, but if you look at... Right, so the old firm, right, have dropped points in 5 games each. That's not incredible. There's no reason why another team... The other teams outside of Glasgow need to step up to task.
Hearts have won 13 out of 23. I don't think you can complain about that points tally. That is a good points tally. A very good points tally for anyone outside the top 2.
Yeah, but the problem is...
7 defeats.
Yeah, they need to turn some of them into draws. The same way Rangers needed to turn some of their defeats into draws.
Yeah, 7 defeats is... I mean, Hearts have 5 more wins than Kilmarnock, but the same amount of defeats. Hearts have the same amount of defeats as Dundee.
Yeah.
Even though they have 7 more wins, they have the same amount of defeats, and that could be a big factor.
That could be disastrous, guys. But that's what we're going to wrap it up. League table, you can look at it in the SPFL review show, which will be up soon as well. But that's it for Chris Sutton. He's panicking. He looked a wee bit nervous in the game today, the build-up and the post-match. Him and Chris Boyd, they were firing wee shots back and forth. Chris Sutton, right, let's just talk about this. He was saying to Boyd that you wrote off Dessers too early. Who didn't?
I know, you guys. Hold on.
Sutton was the same guy burying Dessers.
I'm still not convinced he's a good player.
No, neither am I.
He's getting a couple of goals, but he's not good enough for Rangers.
No, Sutton's a fucking wind-up merchant. Name me one person on this earth that tried to pretend that Cyril Dessers had a good season. Up until the last few games where he scored it consistently.
Do you think that Celtic and Rangers should agree to have a boxing match between Sutton and Boyd?
I think so.
And whoever wins earns their team 5 points in the league?
Fucking Boyd would wipe the floor with Sutton. Sutton talks a good game.
You think so?
Aye. I mean, Sutton may wipe his fucking toupee off his dome but I mean, I'm still betting Boyd to lay the smack down.
What about Christopher for Ayrshire? Would he win?
I think he would, aye.
Hey, that's it. Till next time.
Till next time. Peace.